Bob Iger. Do you guys like Bob Iger? You know he's just back as the CEO at Disney, right? This is movie news for movie fans. Yeah, we're talking about movie news here on this show today. This is the pre-show, guys. This is what we do before we actually go live at 12. Even though we're live now. Doesn't make sense, but whatever. I know that YouTube best practices say that you start off in the first 5 minutes to hook people in, and it's kind of like it's hit or miss after that, but who cares? It's a live show. We do it the way that I want to do it. Everybody knows that we go live at 12 anyway, so I just figured we'll get underway here. It's a big Avatar 2 day. We'll be talking a lot about Avatar 2 because that trailer dropped yesterday, and it's the talk of the town. And it's got a couple of headlines out with some new character posters. It's got quotes from James Cameron about why he made them and the budget for Avatar 2. So we'll be talking about that. But I'm just getting things set up here. I'm making sure that all my OBS is set and ready to go. And, we're just shaking it off right now, getting loose, getting ready for the show, for the movie news show. And I think we're ready to rock and roll, right? I think we're ready to rock and roll. That looks good. Nothing misspelled in there, hopefully. No, we're good. Yeah, James Cameron. I guess this would not be a good time to make any loud, declarations. But he did. He did about the runtime. He talked about the runtime, which is a concern for me because it's 3 hours. But for the hardcore fans out there that like Avatar, they'll be watching it regardless. So, yeah. We got 5 minutes, so let's jam, man. Ooh, that's an A, right? Sorry. Oh, yeah. Hey, wait, this is supposed to be a movie news show. Why is this guy playing guitar? Well, if you haven't seen this show before, I'm somebody who likes to whip out the old guitar every now and then and play a song. Normally I like to have it wide enough so you guys can see that. I really need to put my fan away. This is for the summer and it's been sitting there all fall. I was just watching this video the other day of this YouTube personality talking about YouTube musicians can't play live. I guess because there are music channels out there that show people themselves playing guitar. But then when it comes into playing in front of live people, they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. Hey. Then live stream, that's what I say. Live stream playing guitar. Power chords, right? It's just the root chord and the 5, so it's like... So you mostly hear them like D5, C5, B5, A5. So let me know what you guys thought about the Avatar trailer because we're going to be talking about it quite a bit on the show today. That goes live in about 2 minutes. Did you like it? I know that it aired during the football game last night, and did you watch it during the football game, or did you watch it online? Which is weird, because it's from 20th Century Fox, and when I checked this morning, 20th Century Fox still didn't have it up on its site. Or am I not looking at the right one? The Avatar site had it, and that's what we're going to watch today. To look at some of the comments, what people are saying about it. Mostly good stuff. Mostly people are saying good stuff. My trailer reaction to it was mired for a couple of reasons, and we'll talk about that during the show. Because I had a bad experience with the first Avatar trailer reaction. It was blocked, but I wasn't the only one, so... Oh yes, it was blocked, and I couldn't do anything about it. Oh, whatever. So I was feeling a little bit malaise about it. Let's get this ugly thing out of here. Am I? Oh, it's 12 o'clock. Let's get ready to go. Yeah. All right. Let's talk some movie news. Let's get this thing rolling, James. All right. We are rocking and rolling. Hey. Let's roll. Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines. This is a live news show for movie fans, and we talk about all the big trending movie news headlines of the day, starting off with some Indiana Jones 5 tidbits. The Flash movie has some technology that's supposed to be rather impressive. Quentin Tarantino is at it again, saying that Marvel movie stars are not really movie stars. I don't know what that's about, but we'll read about that. And of course, the Avatar 2 final trailer dropped last night. We'll break that down. But we start off today's show by talking about that Bob Iger story. As I said yesterday, it's going to continue on for a little bit while as we figure out details as they come to light. Bob Iger, yeah, he's back as CEO of Disney, and he's under a new contract, and it's, by the sounds of it, it's just going to be something to be there long enough again to mentor and pass the torch, the baton on to whoever's going to come up next as the CEO, right? But Bob Iger in line for a $27 million payday as CEO under new Disney contract. And is likely to receive and Chapek is going to get a nice severance package. Well, we know that. Hey guys, don't feel sorry for millionaires who get that as a severance package. Most of us just get a nice little boot on the behind and say, don't let the door hit you on the way out, man. Yeah. If we're lucky, if we're not escorted out by security. Not that that's ever happened before, right? Ooh. Anyway, Bob Iger is in line for a $27 million payday, and I guess he's already made a few cuts. He's already fired or at least dismissed a few people because of stock values and stuff like that. That's, they want to change the direction of the streaming direction back to something a little bit more appealing, right? And that's just the base of it. We knew that, like 60% of it will be performance based. And we need the breakdown here on this movie news show? That's kind of boring stuff. Yeah, we don't need to know the ins and out of this contract. But yeah, he has cut some people here. So he announces the restructuring that's going to be happening after taking Disney reins. Kareem Daniel, who was, I guess, Chapek's right-hand guy or something like that. These guys took the control out of the creative people like the Kevin Feige's and stuff and decided to make it all about numbers, right? We're looking at the spreadsheets, we're looking at the marketing, and we got to hit all these numbers, right? We got to hit all these targets to make good product. I don't care if you're a creative person. I'm going to override that kind of thing. And we're going to distribute it through this. And it's like, that's not the way to run this kind of thing. And that's why we're in this mess in the first place. But all of these details are slowly going to come out. And it's expected that this Kareem Daniels guy or Kareem Daniels. Okay. And again, guys, don't feel sorry for these millionaires because they're going to have nice severance packages and stuff like that. And their careers will be just fine. But at least Iger is back. He's taking control of these reins and saying, no, we're going to go back to developing the talent in the creative teams and having the creative teams have control over their own properties like Kevin Feige. I'm sure, like what they said the other day, that like Feige and this group were like the people behind this, not really coup, but kind of like making it aware to the rest of the board that we're not happy with the situation and things have got to change kind of thing, right? And you listen to the things out there, of course, you would listen to Kevin Feige because he made the MCU what it is. Multi-billion-dollar franchise. And you know, you're not going to listen to him, but you're going to listen to someone like Kareem Daniels or Kareem Daniel. No, you're going to listen to Kevin Feige over that guy. 100%. Just a quick update there, guys, just to let you know. And as more details come out, as I said, this thing will be over the next couple of weeks, right? Then we'll figure out all these little details. I've asked Dana Walden, Alan Bergman, do you know these people, to work together on the design of the new structure that puts more decision-making back into the hands of our creative team and rationalizes costs. And this will necessitate a reorganization of Disney media and entertainment distribution, Iger wrote, and I guess this was in a big letter that he wrote the employees out there. So if you want to go read that, it's going to be up on Variety, it's going to be up on Hollywood Reporter and stuff like that. I think people tried to leak it during their that Reddit forum that we looked at yesterday, but as I said, you got to wade through that with a little bit of a skeptical eye, right? But if it's on Variety, you can go read that there. And if you're curious about that stuff, by all means, go check that out. Let's take some live comments because we're a live movie news show there, guys. Daily, 12 p.m. Eastern, Monday to Friday. Our Glass Viking says we are 5 hours ahead of Avatar trailer released like 3 a.m. So I was long gone. Oh yeah, because you're over there in Ireland, right? So for sure. A Weaver says, hi, James, singing those Avatar trailer blues. No, I didn't hate the trailer. We'll talk about that now pretty soon. Avatar trailer was very blue. Glad not colorblind. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Imagine if you are colorblind. Like the blues and the greens are the ones for guys, right? That are, you have a lot of trouble telling the difference, right? Yeah, too many cooks in the creative process. Hopefully Bob will give creative control to the talent. Yeah. For sure. Okay, guys, we got a lot of Avatar 2 headlines to get through today, and we might as well start off with, just talking about that final trailer. And Cliff Curtis is going to be in it. I think he plays like the leader of the water tribe, Cliff Curtis. We'll take a look at the IMDb here in a few moments. But he said on watching the preview footage with James Cameron, he was stunned beyond belief. Because when they were doing the motion capture and stuff like that, you got to see like what the skeletons were doing and stuff, but you don't really get to see what your character is going to look like until it's all rendered in and stuff like that, and you're like, wow. So Cliff Curtis, yeah. In fact, let's pull up that IMDb right now. Cliff Curtis, you'll recognize him. He was in Fear the Walking Dead, very recognizable face. He was also in Dr. Sleep, right? Right there, Cliff Curtis. He's actually a really good actor. He should be in a lot more stuff. I think he's playing the leader of the Water Tribe. So, yeah, even Sigourney Weaver has come out and said that part of the thing was just the challenge of shooting and stuff. We'll take a look at that headline too. So everybody's going to be mining and farming the Avatar trailer, final trailer, and for like coverage today. So let's just go in and take a look at this final Avatar trailer, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on this. I was a little bit I guess I kind of lost my enthusiasm to it because it showed some scenes from like trailers we've already seen. So I was really looking forward to have a little bit more of the story in it. Plus, I was a little bit disenchanted when the first trailer reaction got blocked. So I was kind of like, I was filming it, but I was filming it with the intention of it probably getting blocked and not being able to be seen anyway. So I wasn't kind of like all joyous about it. But I'll tell you, the opening shot of it was like, this is breathtaking. Like, yes, that's awesome. And it will capture me once I'm in the theater and I'm got that horrible set of other glasses over these glasses. I'm in the movie. I'll be like, yes, I like this world. I like being there. It's got a nice feel and tone to it. It's got a crispness to it. A little too crisp in my book, because some of this work, like this reef thing where they live and there's like the pools behind them, this is probably like the worst shot that I've seen in the trailer, and I wouldn't call this good CG, because there's something about that's not how it would look if it really existed. The computer generated that. My mind just knows that, right? It should have a lot of it should have a lot more blue tone. Like, see how they did the background there? It should have a lot of that more mixed into it. You wouldn't see it as crisp as that. They should have just gone out to a normal cliffside, shot that with the kind of lighting that you would think that you would see on it, but they didn't do that. I don't know. It looks cartoon for me, and that's like, I think that's pretty much the only shot I think looks like that. The new mech suits that these guys have, are they really new, or are they just upgraded? Well, I guess an upgrade would be kind of new, but a little bit like those things from Matrix Revolutions, right? Okay, and I was like, I want to see the bad guy. I want to see how they bring back Stephen Lang. But then they go on and talk about like all these little flashes and stuff. I wasn't absorbing it as like, is this part of the story? What's going on here? I guess there's going to be some initiation with the kids getting in with their kids of that tribe, kind of thing. Okay. I guess that'll be what the bulk of the first part of the movie is going to be about, right? Them learning the Aqua tribe. Like some of the underwater shots, they look good. It looks impressive. Well, that's not that impressive, but that's an emotion shot, right? I don't know who all these characters are. The thing is that they're not humans, right? They're CG creations. So for me, it's kind of like I kind of winced when what was it? One of them walks out of the water and winks at one of the guys, and it's kind of like. That's a thing, right? That's not a human being. It's kind of like, why are you? It's like, ooh, ew. And I'll publish a short about that later. Like this looks phenomenal. This looks good. Like this looks like good rendering. Like it was really shot underwater, which it was, right? Of course, this creature wasn't there, and there was a person on some kind of a log or something that they pulled through the water to create this effect, and that looks okay. I'm still not convinced as to why a computer couldn't do this, like computer artists. Why did you need to have underwater motion capture for this? Like, I'm not sold on that. I don't know why you needed that. I guess until we see some behind the scenes footage stuff. So yeah, he basically takes off and flies on this thing. And that's like the first half of the trailer. And then it's kind of like, welcome back to Pandora. The experience of a generation, right? On December 16th. Yeah, and I think this is like the love interest of the one son. And yeah, speaking of like the humans in this, you never saw Spider in this, right? Spider's like the human son in this, and that's the more angle that I want to see, that I think most of us will relate to, is how does the human interact with all of these Na'vi around them, right? Yeah. That's what I want to know. And how does the human interact with these people? I think, oh yeah, you see him there on this. I think this is the only shot we see of Spider here, right? He's on the back with, I think it's Jake. He's with Jake there, right? Yeah. With Sully or whatever his name is. Yeah, so then here, I thought this would be a nice time to show us who the bad guys are. Come in and show us, okay, these guys are here, and just have like an Emperor Palpatine's of like Stephen Lang saying, wipe them out. all of them, kind of thing, right? That's the opportunity that you could have had to do that, but they didn't do that. They're holding that back for some reason, to give us context as to what's going on here. Because from these trailers, I don't really have a whole lot of sense other than what we kind of put together. And this was a shot from another trailer that we saw. So it had components from other trailers. So as a final trailer, overall, guys, it didn't really boost my anticipation levels, really. It didn't. It wasn't something that made me go, wow, I gotta check that out. It didn't have that wow factor that made me say that, oh, yeah, that's one of the best trailers that I've ever seen. It didn't make me have one of those moments where I was like, wow, holy crap. I gotta see that. I have to see that happen, right? It didn't have one of these moments in the trailer, right? And people will say, well, that's from a different movie, James. But this was supposed to be like the wow moment. It's impressive looking, but I don't know anything about this story. And we'll talk about the story and James Cameron and his thoughts on it in just a few moments. But that's pretty much my breakdown for the Avatar: The Way of Water final trailer. And then, of course, experience it in 3D. Guys, opening day, I'm going to be seeing it. So I'll be seeing it, hopefully not in 3D, but if I have to, I'll see it. It really depends on what, because I think this one may be the only one in a long while where theaters will potentially be packed. Just like last year's Spider-Man No Way Home. So we'll have to see how that goes. Let's just take a look at some of the comments for today. It's got over 2.6 million views. Let's see what's popular here. Get a measure of the room. I absolutely love how they're expanding on the world of Avatar and how they're showing that Pandora is much larger than we thought. Okay, they show that there are many tribes and different races who have many different cultures, and that the Matikea, or is that the ocean tribe? See, now that gives it away right now that this person is a hardcore Avatar lover, right? Now I have no idea what Omatakaya is, or not only the Navi on Pandora, right? I'm super excited to see where this goes, and if they continue to stretch further on the world of Avatar with even more tribes and cultures and different creatures and bloms? Okay, whatever. I'm a little bit ignorant on that. But it's a popular comment. Back when I had severe depression, I watched Avatar 5 times in 1 week. I used it as a way to think I was in a different world. This movie truly did save me, and I am so thankful for that. So yeah, it's escapism. People like that world. And as I said, the trailer was impressive. I'm sure Cameron's going to be doing a good job at immersing us in that world, for sure. Cameron Poe here from, that's Nicolas Cage from Con Air, says, I was one of the first creature designers who worked on this film. Worked on the flying fish crocodile creatures, the whale creatures, okay? And I just wanted to say thank you for all the fans. Okay, that's got 11K. So some animator said that he worked on this. I'm sure it's going to look phenomenal. Our Glass Viking says, don't get me wrong about Avatar 2. Looks stunning, but I'm thinking it'll be 3 hours of information overload, tribe and character introductions, and Pandora lore, etc. blows my mind. Well, that's what I'm worried about too. Because we heard from Cameron saying that he's got so many characters and stuff like that. What we care about is Jake and his family. And then other than that, I don't really care about the Ocean Tribe. Like, yeah, they're there to help them, and they're there to try to survive. And I know that we probably learn about the chief and his family of that tribe as we find out how Jake's family's interacting with them. But it's almost like the bad guys in this will become like an afterthought. Like they're just there at the beginning, and then it's all going to be about them trying to integrate with the ocean people. And then at the end, the humans will get to their shorelines and they'll have a battle, and that's what it's going to be about. Pretty much, right? A Weaver says, I can't do 3 hours even if it's Cameron. Can I? Take a break. This is the kind of movie where if you go and take like a washroom break, like it's not going to phase the movie, right? It's not going to be like Avengers Endgame where it'd be like, oh, and you just missed the part where Black Widow died. No, it's not going to be like that. Right. A Weaver, maybe I can. I miss seeing the first one in the theater, and I think it will make a big difference. Yeah, it'll make a big difference. I was going to say this too about the trailer, which would make a lot of people really, really angry, is between Cameron and Christopher Nolan, which are two of my favorite directors of all time, they've got this fascination with the big screen, and I think I know it's come back to hurt Nolan with Tenet. It has. His love affair with the big screen, with the IMAX experience, because he's making movies for that experience. And he doesn't realize that a lot of people watch movies on TV screens, and as awful as it sounds, a lot of people watch movies just on this, right? And if you're not making movies that can be seen on this, but that are meant, that don't translate well, like if you can't watch it on this, what makes you think that you can watch it on the big screen? Like the big sound and the big picture aren't going to change the overall effect of it, right? You still got to be about the story. You got to be about the characters and what's being conveyed. And I don't know if I want to spend 3 hours with this. Like the atmosphere will sell me, right? But I don't know if I want to spend 3 hours in it just because we're going to spend half an hour learning about fishing in this world, or learning about the ins and outs of the social culture of these people that don't exist. That's the thing too, this alien culture. And you say, well, James, you're bigoted then, because you're bigoted against the Na'vi. And it's like, you do realize that they're not real, right? Yeah. But James, it's supposed to be metaphorical. It's like, yeah, I get that. But, it's kind of, I don't know. I suppose I sort of feel it in a little way when you think about Star Trek. Because Star Trek did stories like this. It's kind of like, well, we're moving these people and it's not right. Like the moral implications of it are not right. And that's what's going to be explored in this, right? Like you expect halfway through this trailer to have like Jean-Luc Picard stand up and say, how many people does it take, Admiral? Right? To make it a wrong thing to displace all these people just for unobtainium, which I'm guessing what's going on, right? How many people does it take? But as a trailer, as I said, I'm not just use the Batman versus Superman one. I wanted to use the Dark Knight one, actually. When you first hear the Joker and you're just like, wow. And you see him, it's just kind of like, now that's a trailer, right? There was nothing about the Avatar final trailer that made me go, now that's a trailer. There's nothing in there because we don't know the story. We don't know the characters. Jake, really, but other than that, not that much. So it's kind of like there's no investment in there for me. And as I said, if it's not good on this, what does the big screen going to change, right? Other than just having your mind blown by colors and sounds. All right, let's move on from that. We got the IMAX poster that debuted with it as well. Let's take a look at that IMAX poster. IMAX in 3D. That could be worthwhile seeing. It's a nice poster. And then there was a bunch of character posters that got released. And as I said again, character posters. Like, is that something that... yeah. Because they're not real. That's the thing. This is the character that I'm looking forward to the most. This is Sigourney Weaver playing the daughter. And that's the one that I'm really looking forward to. Because you hear good things from Sigourney Weaver and her challenges about it and stuff. Shares the difficulties of filming Avatar: The Way of Water without VFX. Because yeah, you've got this ridiculous thing on, you're swimming, and they got the dots all over you and stuff like that to shoot underwater. Again, I still don't understand why can't animators do that without the so-called motion capture. They should be able to simulate that now. They should. But she has a lengthy quote up there on MovieWeb. It says, as an actor, when you get down into what we call the volume, you basically in your, capture suit, and there's nothing around you. So yeah, she just goes on to talk about having the dots on your face. You don't get to see what you're doing, and when you go out and see the render, it's kind of like this, like the mesh mock-up of it, right? You don't get to see like the actual character and stuff like that. You get to see like a looseness of it, but not really that much. So again, it's one of those things. I think this kind of thing, as pioneering as Cameron thinks that he is about this stuff, it's going to be like green screens, what they did with the Star Wars prequel trilogy. Working all on green screen stages. It's going to go kind of like the way of the dodo, and everything is going to get transformed into what they do with Mandalorian and changing it into the volume. You'll actually see the images put behind it and stuff like that, because it's just a superior product if used correctly. Yeah. So that the actors, because we saw like they used their versions of the volume on House of the Dragon, and the actor said you felt like it was really there, and it was easier for them to emote and get into character and stuff like that instead of just seeing like blue, right? And those are some of the challenges. So yeah, it's cool. Like she's cool that like her character is going to be the one that I'm looking forward to. Like she's playing the younger daughter, and just seeing her play that again in this world is cool in my book. And that's the part that I'll be looking forward to the most, right? Her role, because we really, and I guess the human son I'm looking forward to. The human son Spider. That's what I'm looking forward to. A Weaver says Sigourney Weaver is my aunt. Not really, but I used to tell people she was when I was a kid. She was so cool. Yeah, she is. And her and Cameron work well together since like Aliens, right? So it's going to be good for her. And like talking about that, it does raise my excitement level up just a little bit. It does. Okay. What's next? Oh, let's talk about the runtime. No, I'll group that in with James Cameron's quotes here. Let's talk about the Avatar 2 budget, because this headline came out and I was like, really? That doesn't quite add up. Let's talk about Avatar 2 is so expensive it must become the 4th or 5th highest grossing film in history just to break even, and they're projecting that it has to make $2 billion to break even. Wait, why? We'll take a look online here for a few quotes here. Early reports have claimed that the production budget alone was $250 million range, but director James Cameron isn't willing to give a hard number just yet. The only answer Cameron would give about the sequel's budget, asked by GQ, was very effing expensive. Why? Well, yeah, you heard reports that developing that underwater technology here, these suits cost a lot. Getting that tank and having water like that as a set. If you watch the behind the scenes stuff for like The Abyss, like maintaining water like that, it's hard because you got to put chemicals in it just like a normal swimming pool and stuff. And it's a lot of water and it gets dirty. And you got to keep it refreshed and clean and sanitary for actors and crew to work in. It's very challenging. That costs a lot of money, especially for the size of tanks that they were using. So he's saying the worst case, business case in the movie history, according to the director's estimates, you have to be 3rd or 4th highest grossing film in history. That's your threshold. That's your break even. So people are saying that it's got to be about $2 billion. $2 billion. $2 billion. Ay, chihuahua. Really? $2 billion. And this has been splashed over a lot of the other trades today, guys. $2 billion. I can't believe that. If the budget is $250 million, guys, why does it have to make $2 billion? That's not even Fast 10 money. Fast 10 is like 346. Okay, so somebody will come back at me and tell me that, well, because they shot Avatar 2 and 3 back to back, James, well, let's just double that for Avatar 3, right? 250 million. So, yeah, okay. 500 million for the two films because they're both in the can for the most part. All right. But then does it still need to make $2 billion to break even? with the marketing, which has been, for me, was lackluster for this. Does the marketing need to be that 200 million? So let's say the marketing was 200 million. So that's 700 million to bring out Avatar 2 and 3. You need 2 billion to break even, Cameron. Something about that just doesn't pass the sniff test. And I could speculate for reasons to perhaps inflate that, but I'm guessing it's just he's using that as a calculated measure to say kind of like this kind of thing. I have something that costs 10 cents here, right? But I'm going to tell you that I'm going to sell you it for $1, and that's a steal for you. That's a steal, right? Because I want to make sure that I get my 10 cents back, but I also want to make sure that I'm getting getting some of my profit there. So I'm thinking he's overinflating the number a little bit, just to make sure that people will go out and see it, kind of thing, like to help drive that demand, right? Maybe that's the only reason why I could think that he would say something like that. Or just like, if it costs more than $1 billion to produce, I'm really shocked that anybody would ever do that. Because you look at stocks and stuff like that, you wouldn't, like, you're getting, that's 1-to-1 that you would be getting. Like, I know that would be good for like maybe a stock, but like you wouldn't put your money down on that, would you? 1-to-1? Like, I guess you have more, you would have better luck as a studio to go to Las Vegas and put it on the roulette table on black or red, the 50-50, even though that's not really 50-50 because you got double zeros and stuff. You can still lose. So yeah, there's just like the odds there. I don't buy that. I don't buy that $2 billion to break even. Something about it just doesn't pass the sniff test. Let's see what some comments here about this. I think James Cameron is over-exaggerating here. Yeah, $2 billion just to break even sounds unrealistic for a $250 million budget. Yeah. Within Alleged, yeah. This doesn't make sense considering they have filmed 2 sequels already. Well, they're starting the 4th one, but I think okay, when I saw the trailer yesterday, and we talked about this yesterday, I said I'd be shocked if it made $1 billion, but I think it will make $1 billion. Because just the reactions that we saw in the trailer comments, right? People love this. Don't have W chart, but $2 billion would make a success on a $250 million budget. Hyperbole from Cameron? Yeah, so he's just maybe trying to manage expectations. Sounds like Cameron is looking for someone to blame why his movie won't be successful. I don't know about that. Top Gun Maverick did just fine, and it was made well before its release. He has no one to blame but himself. Well, we don't know. No, Dane, the movie is going to have that Star Trek or Star Wars Episode 7 appeal to it. It's going to be like, we're back. And it's going to have that shine. Like Avatar is going to have a big shine at the box office. When people go see it opening day, they're going to come out of the theater going, oh God, it was so awesome. We just saw something so fantastic. It's the best movie ever made. And then once that shine wears off and you realize, was it that good? Yeah, once that wears off, then that's going to be where we'll be able to tell if this has staying power or not. Because there are other movies coming out in December that I'm interested to see. And then it's kind of like, do you want to go back and see it 2 or 3 times because it's 3 hours long? But yeah, talking about it being a failure, I wouldn't consider it a failure. It's going to make a lot of money. It just may not make I don't think it's going to make $2 billion. There, that's what I needed to say, James. It's not going to make $2 billion. And if it did, I would be very shocked. I'd be very shocked. But Cameron, yeah, he's saying about it for some reason. Okay, let's try to wrap up some of these Avatar headlines because we've been rambling on about this. Let's talk about that runtime. James Cameron cursed out an executive over Avatar's runtime. Basically, some executive came in and said, well, can we shorten this down a little bit? And he's like, get out of my office. Okay. Let's see what the quote is here. Oh, it's a rather long one. He said, get the F out of my office. Very, yeah. Cameron, you hear things like you don't mess with him like on this kind of stuff. You don't question the story. You don't question his methods. Um, yeah, I said something like I've never said to anybody else in the business. I think this movie is going to be all the effing money, and when it does, it's going to be too late for you to love the film. Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, he's saying that you're saying that we should cut it down, and then if we do. If it does well, then you'll want credit for it, right? Like that's the angle that the executive wanted. Um, I mean, the concerns are there. The 3 hour runtime is definitely something that'll, you would think that hurt it, but it didn't hurt the first film. So that's the angle that Cameron's using, right? The time for you to love the movie is today. So I'm not asking you to say something that you don't feel, but just know I will always know that no matter how complimentary you are about the movie in the future, when it makes all the money, and that's exactly what I said in caps, all the money, not some of the money, all the effing money. I said, you can't come back to me and compliment the film and chum along and say, look at what we did together. Okay, so he's drawing the line there, and the most important part there is look at what we did together. So he didn't want, he doesn't want to share his fortunes with other people if they're questioning him. It's a little totalitarian, but whatever. It's not really. It's Cameron, right? You won't be able to do that. That's just a sense of humor too, I think. Because you heard those stories about his pitch for the Alien sequel, where he just came in and wrote the S at the end of Alien and then put a $ through it and just kind of dropped the pen and walked off, kind of thing, right? That's just his sense. That's his sensibilities, right? At that point, that particular studio executive flipped out and went bug S on me. And I told him to get the F out of my office, and that's where we left. But here's the thing I would say about the executives. If you don't like it, then don't put the money into it. If you don't like it, if you don't trust it, don't put the money into it. If Cameron's so successful, he can put his own money into it. Or at least be forced to constrict. That's the thing about this one, too. You don't feel like he was confined by any financial constraints. He was just allowed to do whatever his brain did. And that's either going to bite him in the end, or it's going to be able to, once again, inflate that ego of his that he sort of has. We know that he has. We know that Cameron's got that ego. But in that instance, I think it was a little bit justified, right? About the runtime. It's like, guys, look how many successes I've had. Look at my track record, and you're questioning me? Really, guys? That's the way I would feel if I were Cameron too. And then finally, our last Avatar story. That's sorry, I've been rambling on and on about this because people are mining this. He explains why he's making the Avatar sequels, and I'll just quickly summarize what he says here in this long quote, paraphrase. That he's getting older. He could still do his ocean exploration stuff and his humanitarian work on the side, which he does anyway. He just felt like if he was going to do any other movies, he wanted to go back and do Avatar movies. He does have other things in mind, but he's getting older, and he's not getting any younger. And the first Avatar movie was very challenging for him to make physically. Took like a lot of long hours and stuff. And if he said he was going to do something like this again, it's better to do it now rather than later. So, yeah, that's more fulfilling. There's a story. He's a storyteller, and there's a story to be told. And we heard that the script had been reworked, and he wasn't happy with the first version and stuff like that. So I'm really hoping that the story delivers, Cameron. I really hope it does, because I need it to, so I can still have faith. And I think I will in the end. I think I will still have faith in James Cameron. Whew. Okay, guys, that was a long segment. It was longer than normal. If you want to follow me on all the other social medias, they're listed right there, guys. What else can you find here on Mirror Domains? Well, we do full live watch-alongs for a series like Andor. We're watching the season finale of Andor tomorrow, guys, on this channel, full live reaction. Pay attention for when that's going to get posted. On the weekends, we do the Horror Weekly Roundup, where we talk about all the big horror movie news headlines that drop during the week. And of course, we know that we do well movie news here during the week. And of course, on top of that, we do trailer reactions, movie reviews, and full live movie watch-alongs for things like Predator Prey, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, a lot of cool things. So if you like that, you like talking movies, you like learning about movies and stuff like that, Mirror Domains is where you want to be. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. Subscribe. Okay, let's take some live comments here. $2 billion over 10 years. How much would a live action Avatar have cost? A live action one. Yeah. Hourglass Vikings says, I think Mr. Cameron has been hanging out with Mr. K. West. Lots of bravado and bluff. The article doesn't integrate himself to the less egotistical minds. Yeah. He's got an ego. And you saw that during his acceptance speech of when Titanic won, right? You saw that. There's a certain pompness to him, right? Pompous, I guess, right? But I think you need that to be someone of this character to drive a huge machine like that, of like studio films. You need to have that a little bit, and you can see that in other people for sure as well. Like, I would say in Nolan, but no, not really Nolan. Not, but you can see that in other. Well, you could definitely see that in like in Michael Bay, right? I'd say like Cameron's like a little bit more. Cameron's a little bit more measured than a Michael Bay, right? But they share certain characteristics. There you go. Okay. Let's move on to some MCU news. We got a new Blade director. Blade has a new director with Lovecraft Country, Jan Demange? Okay. All right. So we got Blade back in the works here. That's good news. And hopefully that'll be back on track then for its release date. Who directed HBO's boundary-pushing horror series, Lovecraft Country. All right. The new team project puts it back on track after losing its original director. Yeah, we knew that. And Mahershala Ali is going to be playing Blade, so that's really cool. Marvel needed to put a pause on this while everything was getting sorted out. Yeah, we knew that. Plan is to go into production in Atlanta 2023, maintaining Blade's release date for September 6th, 2024. Yeah. Demange is a French-born, London-raised director who began in TV before segueing into feature and dramatic thrillers. But let's just go to his IMDb. Let's see what that says. See his credits here. If he's handled horror, I heard from the reports that this version of Blade is going to be a lot more dark and more intense than the Wesley Snipes version, and that's cool in my book. Like that's the tone that they want to go for, so that's cool. So he did Lovecraft Country, only one episode, and that's his big credit. He's done a lot of other stuff. Top Boy, Criminal Justice, Dead Set. It's a lot of TV stuff. But his resume looks okay. As long as you've been helming some projects, that's fine. It's better than handing it over to somebody new, which has been done and is being done. Glass Viking says Tom Cruise did a lot of promoting of Top Gun, but he had a humility. Yeah, he did. But he wasn't the director of it. He was a producer of it. Yeah. A Weaver says, how dare you question such genius? There is something called hubris too. Yeah. Yeah. But with Cameron, you get the sense that he does have a sense of humor about it too, right? That's why he's able to do things like drawing the S on the end of aliens with the $sign. But he kind of, yeah. All right. What do you guys think about that new director for Blade? Guy from Lovecraft Country. Okay. I like that pairing. Angelica Huston is going to be joining the John Wick spin-off Ballerina. Angelica Huston joins Ana de Armas in John Wick spin-off Ballerina. So she was in Parabellum, right? So she's reprising that role, and she was in charge of the ballerinas, right? So that only makes sense. And we know that we know Keanu Reeves is going to cameo in this one, Ballerina. Ana de Armas, huge right now. I'm looking forward to Ballerina, especially after the John Wick 4 trailer that dropped. That was just, now that was a trailer, right? Yeah, the John Wick Chapter 4 trailer was something that made you go, wow. All right. Yeah. Okay, so Huston is reprising her role as the director, head of the Ruska Roma crime organization. Okay. So do you think she'll be the main villain then? Yeah. It's currently shooting in Prague with Len Wiseman directing. That's good news. I like Angelica Huston. I think most people do. We're going to have to get through some of these headlines rather quickly because I rambled on and on about Avatar. I apologize. New details on Indiana Jones 5. We kind of highlighted this yesterday too, so we'll go through this one rather quickly. We know that he's going to be fighting the Nazis. We know that Mads Mikkelsen is going to be the bad guy in this. Doesn't have to do with time travel. Well, apparently this doesn't offer too much about that. But the sequel sees Indiana Jones fights Nazis again, which I think most people would like to see anyway. It takes place amid the 1969 space race. So it may have something to do with space. I don't know. Remember, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, according to Lucas and Spielberg, wasn't really about aliens. It was about interdimensional beings. So maybe this one he actually goes into space. But I'm looking forward to this. Because apparently it does take, there's a parade that happens. That downtown New York or something. Is that what it is? Yeah. And then we talked about that flashback yesterday. That's going to have like a de-aged Harrison Ford there. New technology, and apparently it's so good. It's really good that it was it really impressed Harrison Ford. So that's cool. And then we got the look at Phoebe Waller-Bridge's character in Indiana Jones' goddaughter. Okay. Yeah, we see them there like in Italy or something, or Greece. I don't know. A mystery wonder. Ford called Helena, a pioneering ethical accounting. Yeah, the Helena theme. She plays a character named Helena, and John Williams played her theme at the Hollywood Bowl this year, right? So we heard that theme. That's up online right now if you want to hear that. It was kind of okay. We'll have to wait to see how it's in context, right? Mads Mikkelsen plays the main villain, Nazi villain. Boyd Holbrook is a Nazi lapdog, not Mutt. Yeah, so some people thought that he might be playing a version of Mutt. And we just saw Boyd Holbrook in The Sandman, right? And he was good in that. He is a good actor. He was also in Logan, right? He was the bad guy in Logan? Yeah. Yeah, has a big scene in the 1969 Apollo 11th parade. Apollo 11 parade. Okay. So that's what I'm talking. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Conceptual work looks great. Next year, guys, is when we get this. Indiana Jones 5 was rewritten to properly address Harrison Ford's age. So maybe they wrote that script not considering his age. But yeah, you can see that he's definitely looking his age. And I think they'll handle that with class, I think. Harrison Ford returned to give a proper send-off to Indiana Jones. Do you guys think that he's going to bite the bullet in this one? Do you think he's going to die? I wish they would stop doing that. I'm only going to come back if I get to kill him off. Like the fans almost willed that one into fruition because they heard the quote from Harrison Ford saying that he would only play solo again if he could kill him off. That's like the studio thought that that's something that we wanted to see. I didn't really want to see that. And if he was going to go out, you could have done a better job than him dying like a chump. Seriously. Anyway, that's my minor gripe about The Force Awakens. I won't get into that. Talking about the de-aging technology and stuff like that, let's talk about some new technology on the Flash movie that comes out next year. The Flash movie release delay partially due to its groundbreaking technology. Groundbreaking technology, because we know that this guy here, I don't know if I want to mention his name anymore, is going to be playing multiple characters, right? Multiple Flashes. We could see that here. Ezra. I'm actually looking forward to this version of Supergirl, but we hear that it's going to have to change directions now because they're deciding not to go with the direction of having Michael Keaton's Batman take over. That they're wanting to bring back Ben Affleck's Batman, so they're having to change directions just a little bit. But I'm still looking forward to this, and I'm hoping now that he's not been in the headlines for a while, that by the time this movie comes out next year, we'll be okay with seeing him on the screen, because it's I'm on the side now that it's a movie that's going to have to come out, and they'll have to weather that storm as it comes out. So let's talk about this technology. According to IBC, Malchus says this. Nothing. No, it's going to be exciting. I mean, Warner has changed us with making the best film we possibly can, has charged us with making the best film. So we're getting the first, utilizing some very, very new technology in terms of getting multiple versions of the same actor on screen, rather than just using either locked off cameras or even motion controls used in Last Night in Soho. There's been a development with some wonderful technology, which I'd love to be able to talk about now, but this time next year, once the film's out, we can go into total scrupulous detail. So yeah, it has to do with them being all on the same screen at the same time, right? I thought it was done in the traditional style where it was like another actor was acting out the body and then they just made his head. But yeah, because we're going to see multiple Flashes and stuff like that. So that's what the new technology is all about. So learning about that will be interesting. What the Flash's new technologies mean for the film. That it should be seamless. It should be well done. It won't be like that green screen of cutting in front of somebody and it's kind of like, ooh, you can see the line around them kind of thing. That's partially the delay. The other delay was because of this guy and his shenanigans. But we don't need to go into that today. Talking about shenanigans. Quentin Tarantino is back at it. He's ripping on Marvel movies once again. Seems to be a pastime of his. I'm talking about directors with a little bit of that attitude. That pompous arrogance kind of. Quentin Tarantino is definitely just like one of those directors. But as I said, I think you need that to drive that machine. I think you need to have that edge to you. Just don't be a super butthead about it, like one Michael Bay. But anyway, let's see what he said about this. Part of the marvelization of Hollywood is you all have all these actors who have become famous playing these characters, but they're not movie stars, right? Captain America is the star, or Thor is the star. I mean, I'm not the first person to say this. I think that's been said a zillion times, but it's like, it's these franchise characters that become the star. Huh. Well, I don't actually disagree with that. And I think the box office numbers almost kind of agree with Tarantino. So this one is kind of actually accurate, right? Because Robert Downey Jr. has proved himself. People are not really interested in watching Robert Downey Jr. in anything else other than Iron Man. Same with Chris Hemsworth. Now, Chris Hemsworth is starting to break out a little bit from the Thor. I liked Spiderhead, and I'm really looking forward to him in Furiosa. The only one that really has the ability to do it is Scarlett Johansson, because she was big before Black Widow. I guess so was Robert Downey Jr., but even Tom Holland as Spider-Man. His other side projects haven't done well. Unless it was a series like Uncharted. I had fun with Uncharted, but it's like he's saying that the character is more of the star than the person. Pratt, I think, has a little bit of a breakout because he's got the Jurassic World series too, right? So I guess it does have a little bit of merit. Karen Gillan is definitely out, but Chris Evans too as Captain America was yeah, I don't know, man. So that one I kind of believe. A Weaver says in the live chat, if they just bury his hat and whip and jacket, I swear. Oh yeah. Or you're talking about the Indiana Jones there. Okay, I heard this podcast and Tarantino is actually very respectful. Okay. Well, he's knowledgeable. He's very knowledgeable about this stuff. You can't deny him that. He said that he didn't want to say anything bad about anyone creating movies. This is just his take. He wasn't snotty at all. Well, then he also went on to say other things about the Marvel universe that were not so gracious. But yeah. But then I'm talking about like his when he's actually behind the camera and stuff. Because you hear things about him on like Kill Bill forcing Uma Thurman to drive a vehicle that she wasn't comfortable driving. And him shooting the scene in Inglourious Bastards of him actually choking out that one actress. And it's like, well, ooh. Yeah. It's just Tarantino. I think you give this one a pass, right? It's not too condescending, but the other one's saying that this is the worst time in Hollywood right now because of Marvel films. I don't know about that, dude. I don't know about that. And then somebody asked him about what his final movie is going to be, because he said that his 10th film is going to be his last film. And just his quote here is that he hasn't even thought about it. That's the only update. He doesn't know what it's going to be about. He hasn't even given it a shred of thought. So that's the only Tarantino updates that we have for today. A Weaver says he didn't, we did that one. He said he didn't want to say anything bad. Art Glasswag, says, yes, if I get what Tarantino is saying about Robert Downey Jr. was great in Sherlock Holmes. Oh, yeah, he was. Okay, I guess Sherlock Holmes was good. But some of the other ones didn't really do all that well. Jeremy Renner, oh yeah, he's also somebody that, just like ScarJo, has had other projects on the side that he can go in and step into. Tarantino sounds nicer than Cameron, in my opinion. Well, yeah. At least in those quotes he does. And the other thing too, guys, is that we really don't know unless we're on the sets with these people. Like you hear the degrading of people, like the director belittling people and screaming at people and stuff like that. As I said, directing is one of the hardest things out there because you'd have to drive the machine, right? And sometimes it does require you to yell at somebody to get something done quickly so that you guys can complete the shot on schedule, on time, and for that day so that everybody else working on the project can get out of there on time too, right? Sometimes you do have to use your elevated voice, but it's not like that Ivan Reitman situation. Who said that recently about Ivan Reitman? Where on the first day of the set, she got dressed down by him, like attacked by him. It's like not that kind of directing. Like that's not directing. That's somebody on their high chair saying, "Well, I'm the director. You do what I say," and the power goes to their head, and they think they can do anything. Like there's a difference there, right? Tarantino, I have also heard good things. Yes, that he doesn't allow phones to be used on set. He likes to work with actors that are prepared, that know their lines. So you know that a Tarantino would never work with somebody like a Vin Diesel who just does whatever he wants, right? The call time was 6:00. I'll show up around 8:30 and I won't know my lines, kind of thing. Like, no, that doesn't happen on a Tarantino set. I don't mean to give you the impression that he's a bad person. Yeah, it's about matching the most iconic actor for the superhero role. Yeah. All right, let's wrap up with some hit or miss. Talking about some other directors. And I hear good things about this director, but this will be kind of cool. And let's go through some of these hit or miss headlines. Riker, Jonathan Frakes actor, reached out to J.J. Abrams about directing Star Trek 4. Well, we know that Jonathan Frakes has directed a couple of Star Trek movies, right? He did First Contact, Insurrection, and he's directed a lot of TV stuff. Again, he's one of those directors that has a really long resume. Why not? I'd have that happen. I think that's a hit. Now, it sounds like it's not going to happen, though. I actually wrote to JJ, if you need an experienced guy to take over the Star Trek 4, I'm available. He laughs. He said, you certainly are experienced. Why wouldn't I? It changed my life, this job. Both of my alleged careers have been blessed, having been part of the Star Trek family starting 35 years ago. And then, well, no, that's not going to happen. I don't know why, though. Actually, I really like First Contact. I think that's the best TNG movie, right? And then actually I had no problem with Insurrection. And we're just talking about Insurrection, right? With that Captain Picard quote. How many people does it take, Admiral? Yeah, he directed that one too. And he comes from that pedigree. I would think that would be a good match. But maybe not for that over-the-top, flashy, lens flare style of Star Trek movies that Abrams wants to make. I don't know. But for me, that's a hit. I'd like to see that. Rick and Michonne spinoff needs to avoid one Walking Dead storyline mistake. Guys, you know, The Walking Dead ended this week, and it's going to have a bunch of spinoffs, including a Rick and Michonne, apparently. Okay, it's going to have like a Daryl spinoff. It's going to have a Maggie and Negan spinoff, which I don't really... No, I don't want to see that one. I definitely don't want to see them get... oof. This is a miss. I don't want to talk about this. Jay Leno released from the burn center after 2 surgeries, really, after hyperbaric oxygen therapy. Well, that's a headline that I think is a hit. Good to see him back up on his feet. Oh, man, it looks like it got him up in the neck area. Oh, that sucks. Hopefully it didn't damage his voice too much. Here's to a speedy recovery, Jay, because you're a stand-up dude. And it looks like he was in good hands. Good. And you hear good things about him, too. Like, he's a gearhead. He's always a nice person to everybody. If you're a fan, you come up to him and stuff like that. Real personable type of dude. That was a hit. Chrysalie Knows Best stars sentenced to combined years in prison. Reality duo loses shows update. I don't know this show, guys, but it was like splashed all over Deadline, and it was all over Hollywood Reporter as well. Todd and Julie Chrysalie, stars of USA Network's hit reality series Chrysalie Knows Best, sentenced to a combined 19 years in prison to do with tax evasion or something like that. Defrauding a whole bunch of people out of millions or something. God. Again, when money and power goes to your head. You know, if I ever had the chance, like if for some reason this channel blew up and I became like a millionaire, I only want my cut. I know what I need to make for the rest of my life. I think it was like around 3 million. You get your FU money, and then you get the money to buy your house, and then you're set up for the rest of your life. You don't have to do that much. And that's around 3 million. And then after that, I'd give it to my family, make sure they're all set up. I don't need the huge mansion with a whole bunch of cars, and I just want to have the highest speed internet, and I want a computer that can render 4K video just like that. Yeah, that's all I would want. And to be able to sit down and watch my hockey games at night undisturbed. Chrysalie really didn't know best by the looks of it. Yeah, this one's kind of a miss. I don't know the show, but it's you can see that a lot of people commented on this story. A lot of people, go in and talk about the justice system in the United States. And that's what I don't like to get into here. That's kind of a miss. All right. We're just over an hour, guys. Uh, Something's come up, and I've just been cogitating about this, and I think I may pull the trigger on this because the next couple of days are going to be very busy here on the channel. They're going to be very, very busy, and some opportunity has come up to my attentions that later on today, I may have the chance to go out and see Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. So we know that this is coming on Netflix in December 9th, right? Pinocchio. But I'm like, this is Cheap Tuesday here, so I can see it for like half price. I'm thinking I might go see Pinocchio today, guys. And 310, I don't know if I'll see the 310. I might go to the 620. Or actually, I might go to the 9 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah, then pay attention for my straight out of the theater reaction for Pinocchio. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. And then tomorrow we got a Wednesday. We're going to be watching Wednesday on Netflix. For the first 2 episodes will be in the morning, and then we'll be doing the Andor live action finale, and then 2 more episodes of Wednesday. That'll be a lot of fun tomorrow, guys. A. Weaver says, and then you use the rest of the money to grind your enemies into dust. I'm not, well, maybe. No, I don't really have any enemies. I really don't. I have people that I don't like, that I didn't appreciate, but that's just, just let them go off and live their lives. Don't think about them. Don't let their past transgressions against you eat away at you. Well, your nose isn't growing, so you're telling the truth. Yeah. I'm gonna go see this Pinocchio. I think I will. I think I'll fit that in. And then tomorrow, I'm seeing Knives Out, Glass Onion tomorrow, and then on Thursday I'm seeing Bones and All. So that's like three nights, 3 movies. Busy week, busy next couple of days, guys. So I'm gonna take my little lulls here in the YouTube production of videos as I get them. And then I'm going out Christmas shopping right now. Actually, as soon as they're done this video. But let's round out the day by taking a look at the old Twitterverse and see if I missed any of the big trending headlines. Happy birthday to Scarlett Johansson. It's her birthday. I didn't know this. Unbelievable. She's my favorite actress, and I didn't know it was her birthday. So, November 22nd. Under the Skin. Horrifying movie. What is my favorite Scarlett Johansson movie? Ooh. Wow. I like her as Black Widow. I do. Under the Skin has got to be. It's like, wow. It's disturbing. Marriage Story, no. My favorite Scarlett Johansson movie. I like The Island. That's a Michael Bay movie, oddly enough. Her and Ewan McGregor. Yeah, I like The Island. I'll shout out that one for right now. Happy birthday, Scarjo. Horse Whisperer, yeah. Oh, she's so good. She's really good. Yeah, you can see her in other characters and other roles beyond Black Widow. Lee Pace for Vulture Festival. Lee Pace. He was the villain in Guardians of the Galaxy 1. Somebody pressed his pants. Nice crease. I need to crease my pants a lot more. Actually, I need to get into starching. I hear if you starch your t-shirts, you can get them to be a little bit more crisp. But I also hear that if you mess that up, then then it doesn't look so good. A new poster for Noah Baumbach's White Noise. Well, that poster is a lot of noise. Almost looks like a Where's Waldo picture. White Noise. That's that movie with Adam Driver, right? Official trailer for White Noise. Okay, so that's on Netflix, December 20th. Yeah, it's where their family gets displaced or something like that. It's got Greta Gerwig, Don Cheadle. All right, so that trailer dropped. This is the aftermath. Greta Gerwig apparently is pregnant again. She's directing the next year's Barbie movie. Yeah, they have to move, and apparently things don't go well for their family as they move. I think that's what it's about, right? White noise. Maybe it has something to do with a little bit of end of times days. I don't know. Everything Everywhere All at Once has 8 nominations at the Spirit Awards. This is a movie I still need to see. Damn, I haven't seen it yet. Top Gun Maverick will be released December 22nd on Paramount Plus. Cool. Spirit Awards. Again, we're here with the Spirit Awards. What was it yesterday? The SC Awards? Bones and All, Best Features. Seeing Bones and All in 2 days, guys. Maybe this was from yesterday. Dylan O'Brien, Victoria Pedretti, and River Gallo on the set of the new feature film. Well, we like Victoria. We do. She was in Haunting of Hill House and Bly Manor. Dylan O'Brien. Okay. The legendary Emmy-winning Brian Cox is joining some movie. I hate it when they put the Twitter handles in here. Jim Moyer and Bob Mortimer. Okay. Anya Taylor-Joy says she can't drive despite playing Furiosa in the upcoming Mad Max prequel. Yeah, we saw that one. Yeah, she can't drive, but she knows how to drive now. We talked about that yesterday, right? And I think that's it for today. Oh yeah, I was supposed to have read White Noise in college. I kind of skimmed it. Oh, was it based off of a book? Avatar 2 is needs $2 billion to break even. Yeah, that one I kind of call BS too, but it's gonna be okay. All right. Avatar 2 poster. Character posters for Glass Onion. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that tomorrow as well. I'm seeing that tomorrow. So pay attention for my straight out of the theater reaction for that. Warrior Nun. Austin Butler. All right, guys. I think that's it for me today. No post show today. I'm going to go out and get some gifts for the family. And pay attention later for my straight out of the theater reaction for Pinocchio. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. Subscribe. I'll see you tomorrow for a start of a busy couple of days. Netflix Wednesday and or season finale. Glass Onion. Wow. It's going to be an exciting time to be a movie fan and entertainment fan. See you next time on Mirror Domains.